3rd, 2022. Hit music,
Woohoo!
more winning.
I love you, love you, love you.
After nearly a 10-year hiatus, he's consulted with llamas, spoke to wise people, and they all told him one thing. You've got a face for radio. Chris Sloan returns January 3rd to 95.5 Q95 FM, Eastern Kentucky's best. From the mountains of Columbia to Pikes Peak, listen to The Mountain Mysteries, a podcast from the Pantry Studio of Chris Sloan. The Mountain Mysteries, where true crime meets the paranormal.
A Pantry Studio production.
The following may contain strong language and deals with adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I will be the last to fall. I won't shed a tear for them to see. I won't have your name to call. 'Cause I will be the last to fall.
With over 24% of the 1.9 billion square acres in America alone, the mountains that so many people call home are also host to some of the most incredible mysteries in the world. The missing, the murdered, strange creatures, unexplained lights, and sightings of unidentified objects. These stories may be strange, they may be sad, they may be odd, but they are mysterious. These are the Mountain Mysteries Gatherings. And now, live from the Pantry Studio, broadcast to all time zones around the world, with listeners of the podcast in the United States, Canada, Germany, Norway, India, the United Kingdom, and more. These are the Mountain Mysteries Gatherings. Now, your host, Chris Sloan.
And good evening. It's great to be back. A hiatus with probably one of the nastiest head colds that you've ever seen in your life. But as it turns out, I'm better thanks to a bunch of Ricola, and Jim Daniels doesn't hurt none either. Yeah, not Jack Daniels, Jim. When you've known him as long as I have, you can call him whatever you want. So, and no, that's not this tonight. I don't put that in my Minion cup. Come on. Merry Christmas, guys. I love you all. Hope that you have a wonderful Christmas and a even better New Year. So let's get to it. The big announcement. It's been in the works for a little bit. I am honored and privileged to say that I am coming back to 95.5 WQHY FM, Q95 FM, Eastern Kentucky's best. That's January 3rd, 2022. I've always thought of Gorm and Carla and the folks there like family. And I will still be working in capacity with another work family I have, which is PMG. And that's the management of apartment complex. I've had several people that, when this went public, they asked, are you giving up the management thing altogether? No. But Q95 FM is going to be my full time. And a big reason for that, of course, is, I've got a face for radio. You heard the guy say that. But also it puts me closer to my brother. That's never a bad thing for me. It's actually quite a good thing right now. So that is coming. We're going to have a ton of hit music, a lot of music, a lot of winning, a lot of fun. And I hope that you'll take me on your ride to work or school, or if you're staying at home, have me in there. Weekday morning, 6 to 10, we are going to have a blast and talk about some things that are just out of this world crazy and some stuff that may help you along your way and through your day. okay? Because that's what Q95 FM is all about. We are about family. We are about our listeners. We're about local. Um, and we are about talking with you and interacting with you. You're going to see us out and about in places. We encourage you to stop up and get those bumper stickers, talk to us. We love that. Absolutely eat that stuff up. I love meeting our listeners, especially if I've never met them before. If I've never met you before, I'd love to meet you, love to talk with you. Uh, that's what Q95 FM, Eastern Kentucky's best, is all about, because the best listen to us. And we certainly appreciate that. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. And really looking forward to that. And can't wait to get started on it. I want to take a moment and send out a prayer request for somebody that's a friend. His name's Daryl Lyons. He lost someone. And, as I was going through, a lot of you have received invites right now for, you know what? Let me pop that up there on air, okay? Yeah, here we go. Launched a new Facebook page so you can follow. Well, I'm sorry, I took it off. There it is. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. It's facebook.com/CSOA71. It's easy to remember. Just think Chris Sloan on air 71. And you can follow us on there. From time to time, we'll be giving away, you see the logo up there. We're going to have some shirts with that. And with the permission of Gormy and the Q95 FM, we're going to have the logo of Q95 FM on there perhaps. And we're going to be giving away some of those shirts on down the road and stuff like that. And we encourage you to, you can listen and win those. Maybe you'll see us out, and maybe we'll have something there, that you can win if you got a bumper sticker on your vehicle or something like that. Or, just just listen to the station. You'll find out more details about that. But yeah, there's going to be all kinds of new ways to win and all kinds of really cool stuff going on. We're excited about this. We all really are. But as I was going down today, and I was, trying to promote the Chris Sloan on Air Facebook page. They got this thing, and whatever reason, Facebook done away with invite everybody. It's like, the voice of God saying, invite all. No, now it's like the voice of Chris going, will you please? Will you please? Will you please? Will you please? Anyways, you see the link right there. You can get on facebook.com and just hit that /CSOA71 and follow us. And every single one of you mean the world to me. And I'd love it if every single one of you could follow that and see what we're doing at the station. We are also working on voice tracking. Well, it's called voice tracking, but it's having my mouth on stations all over the place, because apparently I've got a face for radio. I don't know. It's okay. But when I was going down through there today, and I do ask prayers for Daryl and his family. Daryl's a great guy. He's a stand-up fellow. And losing somebody is tough enough. I know that. But when it's around Christmas and around New Year's, it's even tougher. And we all mourn and grieve in our own ways. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's just ways. And they can be as different as people themselves. It's true. I know I dealt with the loss of my parents in my own way. I dealt with the loss of dear friends of mine like Ollie Little in my own way, and others that we've lost along the way. But as I was going down through there, clicking each individual person, of course, I'm checking out the names as I go. My gosh, have we lost a lot of people this year? Haven't we? And there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's nothing that can explain it away. There's nothing that makes sense about it. But we have lost a lot of people. I can't help but think back to the words that my dad would say to me during something like this. He would say, the only sure thing in life is that there is no sure thing in life. The only thing that never changes is that things always change. Like I said, they always had ways of putting things so I could understand them. Didn't mean I liked them, but I could understand them. So if you're watching this, be it live right now as it happens in this moment, or whether it's tomorrow, day after, I want you to know something. You are loved. And I offer my sincerest condolences because I know what it's like. Most of us do. I don't have a monopoly on pain. I don't have a monopoly on loss. Not by a long shot. There's people that have lost so much more from me. I consider myself blessed. Some people close to me made me see that. You see, I hadn't put up a Christmas tree since Mom and Dad died. January 21st, February 24th, 33 days. Yeah, we've been over that, right? No Christmas tree for Chris. And a friend of mine said, look, it's not necessarily all about you. You know, you got a brother. Yeah. So anyways, at my request, I got a great son-in-law and a beautiful daughter who's fantastic. They go because I am anti-shopping, at least out in, going to a store somewhere or something like that. But they go and they get me this Christmas tree. It's a beautiful 6-footer. You've probably seen it on my personal Facebook page, if we're friends. If not, please add me. But it's there. And I thought, yeah, okay, Christmas tree. Go to work, come home the next day or the next evening. They put the thing up and it looks beautiful. It does. They did a remarkable job with it. And this is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets, wow. As is always, I go upstairs and check on my brother. You okay? You doing okay? What'd you have to eat today? How was your day? And normally he tells me about it, but he didn't this time. Instead, he looks at me and he says, did you see the tree? I said, yeah, Mikey, I saw it. He said, we've got a Christmas tree. Yeah. It was in that moment I realized, and this is hard for me to admit, but it was in that moment I realized that wallowing in squalor and my own grief does nobody any good, especially him. I made my parents a promise years ago that I would take care of him. I was doing the basics. Made sure he had roof over his head, clothes on his back. But are you really just living if you're doing the basics? Or are you existing? It was in that moment I turned and walked out of the room. Tears, And I realized. See, I had, for so many years, I'm not going to say I was a Grinch, that I was anti-Christmas. But I will say it had become way too commercial. Because I've never thought, and I don't think now, that Christmas is about presents and bows and strings and things. I think it's about love. It's about family. It's about hope. It's about joy. The hope of salvation through Christ. The joy of that same principle. There's a part in the song that goes, goodwill towards men. I had goodwill towards, At one point, I was getting to like animals better than I did most people. At one point. And then it hit me, you know what? Until you learn to let people in, you're headed straight down the path to Ebenezerism, to Scroogeism. I think this all started back in 2020 in September when we started the Mountain Mysteries podcast. And I'm not talking about the Scroogeism. I'm talking about letting people in. You see, when April died, I never went to her funeral because I didn't want to see her like that, laying there in that thing. Didn't want to see Tim either like that. But maybe that journey started on May 8th, 2021, because after April and Tim's celebration of life and Dwayne's, Sharon invited me to come back and attend April's funeral. The woman literally took me back in time because what happened was, and I didn't know it until some years later, but she had videoed it. So I sit there and watched the entire thing. I cried. I laughed at some of the memories of April getting up in that guy's face and threatening to beat him like a Cherokee drum. And this was a big guy. April was a little girl, and she meant every word of it. And I laughed at remembering the way she used to laugh. And I smiled at the memory of what or let me rephrase that, of who she was and what she was going to be. Maybe that's when everything started to change. Anyways, something happened when my brother did that whole thing. Did you see the tree thing? Clicked, changed. Because then at that particular point, I realized that all of us have pain. God never told us it's going to be a cakewalk. Never told us that at all. What he did tell us was, I'll be with you through it. He has been me. But what a lot of people don't get is you got to give him that chance. You got to ask him. You got to ask him. You got to pray. And he will deliver. I can't believe to even begin to tell you the times. I can't count them. About how many times I was just down and out and just ready to say to hell with it all. And I would pray, God, please just give me your peace. And all of a sudden, and I'm serious when I say this, all of a sudden, there it was. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I rank it up there with the first time I laid eyes on my daughter, or with watching my brother talk about that tree this year. Didn't say nothing else. He just, did you see the tree? Yeah, I saw it, Mikey. Changes you. Did me. Anyway, I believe in Christmas again. I believe in what it stands for. And I'm not worried about the gifts and things like that. What I am thinking is peace, God's love, the love that we have for each other. Wouldn't that be an awesome gift if we could all just put down the petty differences and say, you know what? Forgiveness is a wonderful gift. And I always said Christmas isn't about gifts, but maybe it is. Maybe, just maybe it is. Maybe it's about the gift of forgiveness. Not only giving it, but receiving it. The gift of love. The gift of hope. The gift of giving somebody that gift of hope. That's the gift in itself, when you give of yourself and you don't expect anything in return. That is quite possibly one of the most incredible feelings. And I ain't going to say who or how or why, but I got to experience that recently. And let me tell you something. It will bring you to your knees. Like I said, offer a kind word, do a kind gesture. You got a couple of extra bucks, pay for the guy behind you in the drive-thru, or the lady behind you. Had a lady do that to me just a while back, all because I let her in front of me. I just said, yeah, go ahead. I pulled up to pay for whatever it was. She got that for you. Again, tears. Damn it, I'm getting old. I'm getting soft. Apparently, I'm getting weak or something. I don't know. And then I heard my mother's voice say, you're not getting weak. You're getting stronger. You're figuring out what it's supposed to be about. Mama was right. Seems like. It has been a tough year. I'm not going to make any big New Year's resolutions. We're here tonight to talk about and to announce the fact, and I so appreciate you tuning in, and I love you for this. Thank you so much. For me, radio was never a getting my name out there kind of thing. It was a job that turned into a career, that turned into a passion. My gift, and I'm going to share something with you guys I've only told very few people. Gormy was one of them. It was 2019, around the first week of February or January. Mom had not been in the hospital very long. It was maybe a couple of weeks before she went home to God. I'm sitting next to her in the hospital bed holding her hand, and she said, and her voice was very raspy, for obvious reasons. She said, you may be a really good at whatever you do. She said, I assume so. You've been doing it for a little while now. And she said, you had to have picked up some things along the way. Yeah. And she looks at me, holding my hand. She says, but your first and your best destiny is behind a microphone. She said, you've got the way of talking that people understand. You talk to them, not at them. And she said, God, do you have a voice for it? She said, you did since you was in 5th grade or 4th or whatever it was. And I said, well, I got a face for it too. And she just kind of smiled at me and just blinked her eyes twice like, no. Mamas will tell you what you want to hear. Then a couple of weeks ago, I released this thing on Facebook, about the podcast because we are proud of what we do here. We're proud of speaking for people who can't speak for themselves and getting the word out there about families who have seemingly exhausted practically every avenue just to have their loved ones remembered when they were taken from them unjustly, or we feel unjustly. Anyways, the Mountain Mysteries Podcast, and this is on Spotify. Now, keep in mind, we started with a completely different outfit that distributes the podcast, and then we moved to Spotify. I did that on Arrow's suggestion. He said, I think this would be a good thing. Okay, we did it. So we were on there for maybe 4 or 5 months, whatever it was, and it comes out, bam. The Mountain Mysteries, heard in 30 countries. Is heard in 30 countries. My. I said, really? And I got to looking into it, and sure enough, yeah, 30 countries, whatever it is. Do I care about 30 countries? I care about the names being out there. April Pennington, Dwayne Lovelace, Candy Green Gonzalez. Care about the names being out there. That's what I thought. There are people right now in the Soviet Union, Greece, Italy, Bangladesh, I don't know, wherever. I mean, Scotland, the United Kingdom, Ireland, that have heard the name April Pennington or Dwayne Lovelace, or they've heard about the 46 people on the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, when that bridge went right out from under them. They heard about the Mothman. They heard about Goat Man, which is that really a thing? Goat Man? One of my future episodes is going to be on Petey. Yeah, I keep these things around. Say hi, Petey. So, I'm a kid at heart. I know it. But one of our next episodes is nothing to joke about. Her name's Relisha Rudd. This episode's going to drop January 7th. It opens up season number 2. If the odds were ever against a person, they were against her. And a system that is designed to protect our children did not work. The majority of you out there right now watching or will be watching, you probably have kids. Imagine somebody taking your child and you don't know where, how, what, when. And you're also going to learn about her mother. Shady as hell. I'm sorry, but she's shady. And you're going to learn about some of the circumstances that surround this family. This was a little girl. She had dark skin, beautiful little girl, 8 years old at the time she went missing. She was from the D.C. area. Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, as in. She would go to school in filthy clothes, not rarely had enough to eat. Excuse me. There was actually a cheerleading coach there and other teachers that were kind enough to keep clean clothes for her, and they'd wash out her little hair. Guys, this one's going to probably do some damage to break your heart. It could. To this day, nobody knows what happens. And of course, as is always, the theories are abound. They're everywhere. She would be, I'm thinking, 16 or 17 by now, maybe? I'm not really sure, but I can tell you that no child deserves that. I think that if a child is in this world, it should be loved, fed, cared for. And I'm not going to say put up on a pedestal, because I would not want to just say, let's make them think everything's free in life. Because even the things that people say are free, somebody's paying for them. That's a bottom line fact. It's not a political freaking opinion. It's a fact. Somebody somewhere is paying for it. That being said, we should teach them. I taught mine what the pride of working for something is. Now, is there anything wrong with, let's say, I always had a dream of being in voiceovers. Well, I guess you could say that's kind of what I do. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Because as in the words of Carroll Shelby, we all know him, he built race cars. His daddy told him once that, son, a man that works for a living is a lucky man, because he'll never work. Or a man that works for a living and does what he loves will never work a day in his life. So if you do what you love for a living, it's not really working, is it? There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we have to work pretty hard to achieve that goal, and that's okay. Because I've never in my life seen a single thing worth having that came easy. And I walked this earth for over 50 years, and I've never seen nothing come easy that was worth having. It requires work, but you know what? I take pride in that. Do I make mistakes? Every day. Do I fall? Just about every day. I'm so damn used to the ground that the city of Prestonsburg's, probably going to have a lawsuit for building the sidewalk so close to my rear end. But I get up every day, and it's this. Let's go. Let's do it again. One more time. One of my favorite movies of all time was Rocky, and I guess it was because he had a line in there. He said, it ain't about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. Yeah, I agree with that. And there's not a one of us watching this. There's not a one of us in this world that can't comprehend that. And there's not a one of us that doesn't have the ability to be a little bit better than we were the day before. So we can do that. So, we're also going to have a little bit more interactions too. One of the things I always thought about, with the podcast, and this carries into radio, interactions with your listeners. That's why I like to do this kind of thing. These little live videos. It's a few minutes. We get to talk. We get to chat. And you get to see who's doing all this stuff behind the mic. And I get to talk with some of you guys, hopefully. Be it in the chat room. Speaking of which, let me go there real quick. I want to give public shout outs to folks. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Ben and Steph Blankenship, Amanda Collins. Let's see here. Of course, Jessica Preston, Tony Fairchild. We have looks like Vilma Brucey. Thank you for being in there. And the list goes on. And one of the things I got asked when people found out, well, you're going back to radio, what's going to mean? What are you ending the podcast? No, absolutely not. The Mountain Mysteries is about the people that we talk about. This will continue. And we're blessed to have Q95 FM's backing and WDOC's backing. We've had that from day one. Gorm was great with this and said, if there's anything we can do to help, and if you listen, which I'm sure a lot of you do, it's powerhouse. You hear ads on there from time to time about it. or I hate to use the word ads. You hear us talking about the Mountain Mysteries, and that has rose our numbers. A little bit about Q95. It's family owned. It's family operated. It has been for years, since its inception. She is legally the most powerful station you can have by law at 100,000 watts, Class C. I mean, I walked into Kingsport, Tennessee in a diner and heard the station playing over the diner music, my dad and I. And actually had a girl walk up and say, "Are you Chris Sloan?" All I said was, "Table for two, non-smoking." My dad was with me. And she said that, my dad just, that chest popped out there. Yes, proud like a peacock. Yes. It popped out there and you saw the feathers come up. And I was like, the hell? And I said, yeah. I said, do we know each other? And she said, no, I listen to you all the time. Kingsport, Tennessee. We were referred to once by somebody in a magazine as the legendary top 40 outlet. And I thought, well, that's cool. And they were in North Carolina. It was like, can't remember the guy's name, but it's like Bill from North Carolina. And I thought, are you kidding me? No, she gets out there. So wherever you're watching this at, hopefully you can pick us up, or if not, you can go Q95 FM International, Q95FM.net, and listen to us at work, listen to us at home, at school, in the car. Things are going to be awesome. More awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll never hear internet radio get on there and say, hey, happy birthday to so-and-so, or tell you about the ball game scores the other night of your favorite team, be it Prestonsburg, Johnson Central, the Magoffin County Hornets, whomever. You rarely hear about that. And you'll never hear about it on, at least I've not heard it on Sirius XM. And yes, I did have a Sirius subscription at one time. I do not now, because local radio is free. I'll never send you a bill. We will never send you a bill for that. And we'd love to wish your kids a happy birthday on the air. We'd love to talk about what's going on up the road that could delay you 10, 15, 20 minutes. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. That's another thing. Tell you about the road conditions, the weather conditions. Got a website too, Q95FM.net. Got all that stuff there. Speaking of websites, we will have one. It's ChrisSloanOnAir.com. That's coming very soon, as in the next couple of weeks. Thank you to my daughter, Cody, who is building that thing. It's going to look awesome. And there'll be ways to win on there too. And of course, we're going to have listings of stations all over the world. But my home is 95.5. So we look forward to that. And yes, I know if you guys don't know, my job for the longest time, I've been blessed to have worked with a wonderful family in the management business, in housing management. And I have made Dottie, Katina, I love these people. They're great people, but I will continue in some form or capacity therein, at least here, and a little bit here and there as needed. But like I said, weekday morning, 6 to 10, and I'd love to come out. You know, if you own a business, we'd love to come out and help you market that, show up live, go on the air live from your place. We'd love to do that and get you even more business. And believe me, we will do that. We can do that. I promise you. But I'm so blessed and so happy. So even though this has been a difficult year, you know, and I pay homage and respect and love to the people that we've lost, like Ollie Little and so many others, many which I don't know. I don't have to know them to tell their families that we love you and we're thinking about you. And if there's something we can do, we will. So the cat, as they say, is out of the bag. It actually went public today. I think they started airing the little promos that you heard at the start of this show. Maybe it was yesterday or today. I'm not sure. But I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be going back. I'm proud of the fact that we're going to have a lot of fun. We have some challenges ahead of us, but they're going to be great. And we want you guys to listen. We want you guys to have fun. And it's something else too. This will be clean. It's clean. Like I said, Q95 FM is a family business. It's a family radio station. Has been for a long time, since its inception as WDOC. And I hope I'm doing her justice by talking about it. But we are family, and we support families. We support Eastern Kentucky. We support our communities. And it's not just Prestonsburg. It's not just the Star City. We support Pikeville, Painesville, Prestonsburg, Louisa, Inez, Salyersville, and all of the cities that I'm not mentioning. I'm so sorry. A little tired, a little bumfuzzled. But we are thinking of you too. It's like I told a friend of mine, 20 years I came to Prestonsburg and it took me in. They took me in. It's time to give back. And that's what we're going to do. So tell your friends. Ask your friends. You guys got to check this out. Yeah. I get that, people have different choices, but we are going to give you different reasons to listen. And we will. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it. The Mountain Mysteries will continue. The next episode drops January 7th, kicking off season 2. And this is something else I need to address real quick before I let you guys go. April Renee Pennington. My. Keep getting asked, are you going to do a follow-up episode? Yes, we will. Tell you more about that. I got to be quiet about some things on this because there's things pending. I'll just say that. But I can tell you, she will never be forgotten. Same with Dwayne, same with Mamie, same with Meryl, same with so many people. I actually got to talk to Cormy about his dad because his dad did play a role in that. He went to, I think it was Indianapolis, don't hold me to that, and cornered a guy that had allegedly admitted that he killed Meryl Baldridge. It turns out that he didn't like the way that the prison system there treated him. What the hell? Do you want hot cocoa and marshmallows every night? Sugar cup? No, it's prison. Anyway, Gorm had talked to me about that. And he did. And anyways, it was just fascinating to hear it from his son. It was great. I was like, wow, this is so cool. To hear that from him. We are going to have a blast. We're going to have a good time. Summers are going to be hot. Spring, winter, and falls are going to be cool. It's just going to be, we love making winters. Well, yeah, the station always did. I honestly think that a couple of my last years there, we probably made more winters in a summer than some stations did in 3 years. And ask me how much the listeners had to pay for it. You're right. Nada. Yeah, it's pretty cool. My Christmas wish for you is that you're healthy, you're happy, your family is healthy and happy, and that you understand that love, joy, and hope, those gifts mean more than anything you could ever buy. So whatever Christmas gifts that you give to your kids this year, that's awesome. But always make sure that they know that they're loved and that there's always hope, even in the darkest of moments. Even in the darkest of moments, there's always hope. There's always hope. If you guys don't care, that Facebook.com, I'm sorry. I point one way, the camera shows it another. And I've not even had a thing to drink tonight. But yeah, that thing right there, it's right beside of the snowman. If you could like and follow that, I really would appreciate that. I think that would be just so awesome. So with that being said, I wish every single one of you a very Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Years. I love you. May God bless you and keep you. And thank you so much for being with us tonight.
From one coast to the other, mysteries are everywhere, and we will continue to pursue the answers to those questions and more. Please share, like, and rate the Mountain Mysteries podcast and tell your friends to tune in on Facebook or YouTube. The Mountain Mysteries gatherings are each Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to support the Mountain Mysteries search and help these families, join us on Patreon, or you can make a one-time donation as well. The Mountain Mysteries and the Mountain Mysteries gatherings are property of the Pantry Studios and Chris Sloan, who writes and produces the content. If you would like to reach out to the Mountain Mysteries, please email us at pantrystudio@yahoo.com. Until next time, my friends, stay mysterious.
A Pantry Studio production.